co-host storytelling show, much like Emily told you. It takes place the third Thursday of every month at the Deer Pile. I don't want to belabor that point, but there it is. We also have a hit podcast of the same name that features the best stories from the live show.
Yeah, no big deal. You can find it on iTunes. It has its own website, thenarratorspodcast.com. Wherever you find podcasts, Stitcher, whatever. I'm not here to sell. Deal. The only backstory you need to know for the tale that Robert and I will be telling you tonight is knowledge of dubstep music. And if you know, and those of you who are fans will be so overjoyed at what's about to happen. If you don't know what dubstep music is, relax, Gramps. We can explain it to you. Just imagine the sound of like Transformer, like Optimus Prime Transformer, arguing with like a broken fax machine over who put a tray of silverware in the microwave. That's about perfect. If you've seen a movie trailer for any shitty movie in the past year, you've probably heard it at some point in the trailer. So Robert and I were sound checking for our podcast, and we started making goofy mouth noises.
And after jokingly remarking that we should start an a cappella dubstep band, and at this point we sort of envisioned it more like a barbershop quartet, but with big Oakley band sunglasses,
Like shingle haircuts.
yeah, Cavaricci pants, like the whole 9 yards. But we decided to just go for it because we thought it was an idea that was just dumb enough to maybe be funny.
So the first step, we wanted to add another band member, so we added local comedy producer and roustabout Andy Jewett to our group.
There he is.
Real hickeys, y'all. Real relationships, real hickeys.
Just a class act. The jokes. And then we just dove right in. We booked our first show at the Grolix, Denver's best monthly comedy show last Friday every month at Buck Theater. I'm going to sell you guys. And we each chose like an alter ego to perform it because it was such a ridiculous idea. We were like, well, we should have like other personalities. So when we leave our dignity at the door, it'll be okay. So my alter ego was Mrs. Hollywood because I was like married to showbiz, and my costume was this vintage, which was Andy Jewett's in 6th grade. It just fits me as an adult man as if it was tailored. But then I later matured as an artist, so I got rid of the New Kids on the Block.
No! Oh.
And I have, even though it's supposed to just show off my raw masculinity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uncooked.
Andy Jewett became Clown Mouth in his signature basketball jersey.
Still got the
That's not making fun.
That's not. And I became the meat seeker, shirtless. And we were ready. Thanks for the preparations. So our first practice was the night of our first show. We stood out in the alley outside of the Buck Theater and hastily cobbled together some mouth nonsense. So how do you take a highly synthesized form of music and turn it into a cappella? Well, each of us assumed a role. So Andrew started the song off with his best impression of a reedy castrato boys choir.
It's easy, it comes naturally.
Beautiful. And I came on top of it, or rather I came in on top of it. I came in on top of the choir with some tasteful timpanis.
All over it.
Boom.
And I read from the text of a 70s self-defense book.
Boom.
Read a passage now. In the late 16th century, the French proclivity was a cutlass. But that soon gave way to the eventuality called couteau de brèche. That vulnerability was intense. It stings, it cuts, it bleeds. Tenderloin!
Andy, it's
Yeah.
2 foghorns, 2 disconnected phone calls,
Disconnected
then we
phone calls,
stop.
and we
There was no reason.
We just fucking practiced this shit 10
You're
minutes
supposed to come
before
over
the
here.
show.
That's
I'm
a
back.
choreography.
Nobody would have known you had vicinity.
Dude, it's a craft, and you're not. Just get us back in the song.
Just drop back in. Drop back in. It's cool. They don't even know. They don't even know. Just get back
You
in.
know now?
It's fine. Just get back in with it.
Hemoglobin mongoose.
Tenderloin.
Oh my god, that was dope!
Thanks.
Dude, that was dope. Amazing.
Thanks.
Oh my god!
So, it was a huge success. Despite our effort, people were really into it. We started getting offers to do other shows almost immediately. Fast forward about a month and we found ourselves with an offer for a paid trip to go perform at South by Southwest. One of the world's largest and most prestigious music festivals, which was a huge opportunity for a fake band with no more than 30 minutes of total time practice and performance. I was scheduled to defend my master's thesis, if you can believe that, right after that South by Southwest trip. But I let this take precedence. How many times in your life do you get to travel and make fart noises with your mouth to hundreds, if not thousands of strangers in Texas? I had to do it.
That's true. We had some problems though before we left. Andy Jew was in the middle of quitting his job that week, so he wasn't sure if he'd have any money to support his family, let alone take a road trip to Texas. And then right before we left, I became suddenly, radically, Mountain Dew extreme level ill with a stomach virus, and I threw up like 30 times like in one day. And we were like, well, maybe we won't be going since I have Ebola now. But then the next morning, I rose like a phoenix from a puke speckled toilet. I called him up, and I was like, I think we can make it. And we were almost ready to go. There was just one thing we needed.
The meat suit is due to undergo a transformation. Much like the caterpillar enters the cocoon and emerges as the beautiful butterfly. So the meat suit entered the chrysalis of Amazon.com and emerged with a bright yellow bodysuit. And thus, the banana was born.
So, we decided to drive to Austin in one eternal shot. In Andy Jewett's new Chevy Traverse, brought to you by Chevrolet. Andrew, for some reason, brought along a 25-year-old narcoleptic woman who would sleep in the backseat for the entirety of the trip.
I don't have any idea that was gonna happen, guys.
You guys, South by Southwest, let's do this!
We should probably practice.
I'm not feeling it right now.
Are you seriously eating 2 corn dogs for breakfast?
Hey, when in Rome.
after the next town. I just want to grab for a while. Is she ever gonna drive?
I don't think she should drive anything ever.
You guys want to practice now?
I'm not really feeling it.
Oh, we're here.
So after a 15-and-a-half-hour drive, we made it to Austin. We were staying in the living room of a friend's condo, which was nice and generous of him to offer of it to us.
Us.
Us out around. And the first night saw some partying. A little bit of partying. It was mild, but it wasn't too much. Just a little bit of partying.
Woo! South by!
He was there.
Eerily nice. So the next day, we walked down to the fest to check everything out, and it was a spectacle unlike anything we've ever seen. There was music everywhere, people everywhere, street performers.
Who are not people.
People. People watching was insane. It basically ran the gamut from like baseball mascot to unicorn person.
That was awesome. Alright guys, we're on next. Zip me up, darling.
Shit out there.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna do a lot better after practicing for an hour.
No, it's fine, guys. We're gonna kill this. Look, just go out there and have fun, and let's just fucking tear South by a new one. These new songs we wrote, they're fun. Let's
Fucking A, dude, mouth by. Let's do this.
Mouth by.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all been waiting for, all the way from Denver, the debut of the Mouth Stepper!
Yeah! Alright, for our last song, we're about to do something really cool right now.
Real cool.
Yeah, real cool. Are you guys ready for a master's degree in emotion?
Get your books out.
It's sad, we were just realizing that every day all of us are just bombarded with information. Everybody's on Facebook,
That's
and
right.
Yaxter, and Reddit. Everybody has an AOL disc in their
Chat
back
package.
pocket.
23 hours.
23 hours.
But then we were like, isn't it cool that everybody's got a cell phone so we can all stay connected?
Super cool,
So
y'all.
we need you and your cell phones to help us out in the song. We can't
Everybody
do this song without you. So
Get
take your
your
cell phones
phones
out. Get your cell phones out.
Get your
Turn them on.
phones out.
Everybody's got a phone.
Get your
sit in the
fucking
phone. Get everybody
phones
phones around
out.
your house. Get your phones out.
Pull up a YouTube video, pull up a ringtone, get
Get
ready.
into your ringtone menu. Get the
Anything that
most
makes noise.
annoying loud ring you can find.
Yeah, guys, I need your help. Do you find your ringtones through your home screen, or is it?
Whoa, what's up, banana? What happened? You hulked out of your banana suit?
The banana is sad. It's peeling.
There we go.
The zipper's broken. Okay, fucking Chinese bullshit. Alright, so in this song, when you hear Clown Mouth yell out smartphone holocaust, we want to hear all of those phones.
Call them
On
phones.
my cue, this is real instructions. Smartphone holocaust.
This is the opposite of every other menu.
the
Yeah, I
buttons
can
and
already
let it
hear
fly. We
some.
wanna hear your
But not
noise.
yet, not yet.
Okay, we hear a lot of good stuff now. That's perfect. But get it ready for
Alright,
like.
now
when I
zip
say
it
smartphone.
till it's time.
Zip it.
Or you'll ruin the magic.
Put your fucking phones. Quiet them.
Have them out. Get quiet.
And then he's gonna yell smartphone holocaust, and that's when they go crazy. Alright, you wanna kick us off, Banana?
Yeah, let's keep this up. Smartphone holocaust. Smartphone holocaust. Smartphone holocaust. Smartphone holocaust. Smartphone holocaust.
Smartphone holocaust. What a great music lesson? I know you know about cannons, but we're gonna do something that's never been performed before. Here we go, you ready? It's a 3-way bass cannon. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yo, rest in peace, everybody. Rest in peace, the cell phone providers that didn't quite make it. Let's give it up for the leg of the Ozarks Bell that didn't make it.
Jump Mobile, Jump Mobile.
Shut Mobile, Alltel Wireless. Everybody remembers Alltel.
Singular.
We all hated the Singular 10 at Malphite.
Northern Illinois, Conrad, Western, Cellular.
T-Mobile, almost.
Almost there. Y'all.
Smartphone holocaust.
Well, that was incredibly generous. That fucking sucked.
We should have practiced more than an hour.
Yeah, we probably should have practiced for more than an hour, but you were too busy stuffing, as many peanut butter parfaits. Buster, whatever, into your
Yeah, it's my fault.
Well, overall, I think they were just underwhelmed. It's fine. I was probably like the 15th guy they'd seen in a yellow bodysuit like that day.
There's literally a guy outside this very venue playing a violin wearing a fucking werewolf mask.
There he is. It's him.
Get out of here!
Get the
You're
fuck
in
out of
the
here.
forest.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't feel bad for that guy. He ruined
Yeah,
it.
he fucked up our show. So it sucked. And in the end, I think that acapella dubstep comprised a mere drop of spectacle in a sea of the spectacular. People were incredibly underwhelmed. We had one last night in South by Southwest to contemplate our failure, our mistimed womp-womps, and our broken vacuum sounds. And then it was time to leave. Given that I was due back in Denver to complete work on my master's thesis, which I sorely needed to do, I convinced everybody the night before that we would get into the Chevy Traverse.
Are we getting money from them?
Yeah, we are. Chevy Traverse. It's large, but it's not so large that people think you have a tiny penis.
Chevy Traverse, better than a Pontiac Aztec. Kind of.
I convinced everybody to get into the car before 6 a.m. I would take the first shift driving so that they could sleep through a large chunk of Texas and we could get on our way and I could get home and get back to work. All I needed was a few precious hours of sleep, which I was not going to get. So the party condo. The first 2 nights, there was some mild partying. I didn't get much sleep, but it was all right. But that last night, the gloves came off. The icing on the cake was there was this one fucking guy in particular who was the worst. He was the worst out of everybody in that condo. He was shrieking at the top of his lungs all throughout the condo. He kept getting to try to get people to do Lady and the Tramp with him, with kielbasas. That's where he would put an end in his mouth, they would put an end in their mouth, they would meet in the middle, and everybody would win. This went on for hours and hours and hours. But the real kicker was that once I had been kicked out of all the little hidey holes I had tried to find to sleep in, and ended up back out on the couch in the living room, after everybody had, for the most part, passed out, I was trying to sleep. I had a couple couch cushions over my head, and this guy proceeded to dry hump a woman on a fold-out couch approximately 4 feet from my head. I got about 45 minutes worth of sleep that night. But I was successful in getting everybody into the Chevy Traverse and hitting the road. And we made it back to Denver. We didn't come back empty-handed. We brought back our 25-year-old narcoleptic woman and some valuable lessons. Lesson number 1. This one's a good one. Even fake bands should perhaps practice a little bit more than an hour before performing at South by Southwest. It's a good one.
Don't ever quit your job and then offer 3 rows of luxury seating
hundreds of gallons of gas, and a pristine Chevy Traverse on the last second trip to Austin, Texas.
And lastly, if you are going to dry hump somebody in a party condo, use the bathroom. I know. It must have been so embarrassing for you. I'm sorry. That's our story, everybody.